to rest. Hello, dear friend. I'm Theodore, and this is Night Harbor Sleep Stories, a quiet harbor where stories arrive after midnight. Here, travelers from every corner of the world share how they found peace among stars, rain, forests, or time itself. Each night, a new guest joins us with a tale meant not to entertain, but to calm your thoughts, slow your heartbeat, and help you drift into peaceful sleep. So, wherever you are, find a comfortable place. Let the night settle around you, and allow my voice to guide you gently toward the quiet side of the world. This is Night Harbor. Tonight, I want to introduce you to our guest, Anneliese, a botanist from Germany. She has spent her life studying the secret rhythms of plants, the language of rain, and the quiet breath of the earth itself. Tonight, she'll share with us how the forest whispered her to sleep, and how she learned that even silence has a heartbeat. So, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and listen. Anneliese says, "That's my name." A whisper carried on the wind through the black forest. The morning here doesn't begin with sound. It begins with color. A pale blue spills gently between the trunks, and the mist glows like breath. I stand barefoot in the moss, feeling the night's coolness dissolve beneath my skin. Every inhale tastes of pine and wet earth. Every exhale feels like I'm giving something back. The world is still, but not empty. It's waiting, and I am too. The forest wakes slowly, as if it knows there's no need to hurry. A bird calls once, softly, then pauses, like it's testing the air. The trees seem to breathe together, their branches swaying in rhythm. I listen closely. The silence isn't silent at all. It's full of tiny movements. Dew rolling down a leaf, the soil shifting under my toes, a small creature stretching somewhere unseen. I think to myself, this is how peace begins. Not with stillness, but with gentle permission to exist. The first beam of sunlight arrives, quietly, like a secret being shared. It slips through the mist, painting golden shapes on the ground. I reach my hand toward it, and the light rests warm on my skin. For a moment, I imagine the sun breathing with me, slow, deep, patient. If this were a bedtime story for grown-ups, this would be the chapter where the world decides to be kind. The warmth spreads from my palm to my chest, and I realize I've never been this awake. this calm. I press my back gently against the trunk of a tall oak. Its bark is cool, its strength steady. I close my eyes and listen. There's a pulse there. Slow, deep, ancient. Not like a heartbeat, but like a memory that never ends. Each inhale carries the scent of sap and rain. Each exhale softens my thoughts. I realize the forest has been breathing for me long before I arrived. And now, we share one rhythm. A quiet, endless sleep meditation in the light of morning. A narrow path winds through the trees, half covered in leaves, half forgotten by time. I follow it slowly, each step sinking softly into the soil. The light filters through branches like ripples of water. Somewhere ahead, I hear the faintest murmur of a stream. Every sound feels deliberate, as if the forest is tuning itself for a song I can't yet hear. The air grows warmer, and the scent of wet bark fills my lungs. Every breath feels like a promise. You're safe. You're meant to be here. I find the stream. A thin line of silver cutting softly through the moss. The water moves lazily, curling around stones like silk. I kneel beside it, dipping my fingertips in. Cold, calm, perfect. The ripples widen slowly, each one carrying a piece of sky. I whisper, "What are you saying?" The stream replies, not with words, but with rhythm. And suddenly I understand that peace is simply listening long enough to hear. The forest shifts, not loudly but with purpose. A breeze rolls through, making every leaf tremble for a heartbeat. Sunlight scatters in 1,000 directions. I stand still, arms at my sides, and let the air move through me. It feels like being touched by music that no one is playing. For the first time in months, my shoulders drop. I hadn't realized how heavy tension can be until the forest lifted it away. I whisper, "Thank you." But the forest doesn't need thanks. It just keeps breathing. The sun climbs higher, spilling its warmth across the clearing. Every surface glows, the bark, the stones, even my hands. When I breathe in, it feels like I'm inhaling sunlight. When I exhale, the forest exhales with me. We share a rhythm, slow, quiet, endless. For a moment I forget my name, my work, my past. There is only breath and light moving softly between the trees. This must be what peace feels like before it turns into peaceful sleep. Beside the stream I find small pods, tiny seeds hidden beneath a fallen branch. pick one up, rolling it gently between my fingers. Inside, life is waiting, silent, patient, certain. I dig a little hole in the damp soil and place the seed inside. Covering it feels like tucking in a child. I whisper, "Grow when you're ready." Maybe I'm talking to myself too, because healing, like growth, cannot be rushed. As the sun rises higher, shadows begin to move. They sway gently across the forest floor, like soft, dark waves. The light filters through the branches, painting gold stripes across the ground. I walk through them slowly, watching my own shadow stretch and shrink. It doesn't frighten me anymore. It just follows quietly, like a memory learning how to stay peaceful. Sometimes we don't need to chase light. We just need to walk with it. Somewhere deeper in the woods, I hear a low hum. Not mechanical, not human, but steady. It's the sound of bees gathering among wildflowers. Their buzz is soft and circular, like an old lullaby sung without words. I kneel to watch them. Tiny bodies working in harmony, each carrying a piece of gold from flower to flower. It's a perfect sleep meditation, alive but quiet, focused but free. I stay there until the hum fades into the wind, the trees begin to thin, and I find myself standing beneath an opening of sky. The clouds move slowly, like thoughts in no hurry to form. I lie down on the grass, hands folded behind my head, and watch the white shapes drift above. A breeze brushes my face, soft, invisible, kind. Every cloud feels like a floating story, unfinished, but content to stay that way. I realize that not every question needs an answer. Some just need space. The day reaches its quiet peak. The air hums gently with heat. Somewhere far away, a woodpecker taps on bark, a rhythmic echo through layers of green. The sound feels like a heartbeat, steady, grounding. I tap my fingers along with it, smiling. Sometimes rhythm is all we need to remember we're alive. No rush, no worry, just the slow pulse of the forest and the warmth of being here. The world seems to pause. Even the wind stops moving. For a long, golden moment, everything holds its breath. I do the same, not out of fear, but in reverence. The silence feels heavy but soft, like a blanket being placed over thought. I whisper, "Thank you for this quiet," and I swear, the forest exhales again, slow and endless, returning the thanks. The light is changed, brighter but slower now. It stretches across the ground like a tide, pulling me gently deeper into calm. I sit cross-legged beside the stream, watching tiny leaves flow past, ocean is so soft. It feels like time itself is tired. I dip my hand once more into the water. It's warmer now, alive. I whisper, I understand your language. And in that moment, I realize I do. Not through thought, but through quiet belonging. The morning has become day, and I'm ready to follow wherever it leads. The air changes first. It thickens, not heavy but full. The scent of wet bark arrives before the rain does. Birdsong fades, one note at a time. Even the wind seems to pause, waiting for something ancient to begin. I lift my face toward the sky. The clouds roll slowly, turning silver and deep gray. And in that stillness I feel a promise that soon the world will start speaking again, not in words, but in water. One drop, called, precise. It lands on my wrist, and for a moment the forest sighs. Then another drop follows, then another. Each one like a soft knock on the door of the earth. The rhythm begins to form, slow, patient, tender. It's as if the sky is whispering, I'm here too. The first rain always feels like forgiveness. It doesn't fall. It returns. I close my eyes. When you stop watching, you start hearing. The rain moves in patterns, fast above, slow below. Leaves become drums, stones become bells, and the ground hums a low, steady note. I press my palm to the soil and feel tiny vibrations under the surface. The forest isn't reacting. It's responding. Every drop lands where it's meant to. Every echo belongs. This isn't weather. It's a sleep meditation in motion. As the rain thickens, the trees begin to sing in low tones. Not voices, but resonance. The branches sway and shiver, each holding a different pitch. Together they create a sound that isn't quite music, but feels like a language I almost understand. I breathe with it. In when the rain rises, out when it softens. It feels like being part of a choir made of sky and soil. I don't try to translate it. I just listen. Small pools begin to form. The surface ripples softly, each ring overlapping another. I crouch beside one, watching my reflection dissolve with every drop. I see no face, only motion. Maybe that's the truth of water. It doesn't releases. The puddle becomes a mirror for change, showing me what it means to let go. In this moment, I understand why people pray in the rain. It's the only time the sky comes close enough to touch. The rain begins to fall faster. Every sound overlaps. Leaves, branches, ground, skin. It's chaos, but gentle chaos. I raise my hands and let the drops strike my palms. Each one has weight, temperature, rhythm. Together they form a pattern, like countless heartbeats sinking into one. I realize that peace isn't quiet. It's harmony. The rain teaches me this better than any book. Even nature knows you can be full of sound and still be calm. I kneel again, pressing my ear to the earth. The sound is deeper now, a slow pulse under the surface. Feels alive. Maybe the roots are carrying messages from one tree to another, passing the music downward. Each vibration tells the soil to breathe. This must be what the ancients called Earth's memory. Rain isn't just falling, it's awakening the ground. And I am just another listener in a forest full of stories. The rhythm slows again. The forest takes a breath. Every pause between raindrops feels like the space between thoughts. I count the silence. 1, 2, 3, and realize that even nothing has sound. Tiny droplets slide off leaves, hitting the ground in delayed echoes. The pattern is imperfect, and that's what makes it beautiful. It's not control that brings calm, it's surrender. And as the rain steadies, I feel my mind do the same. The air grows rich, heavy with petrichor, that smell of soil drinking sky. I inhale deeply. It smells like memory, like the moment before thunder, when the world pauses in awe. Each breath I take feels older than me, as if someone before had breathed it and left peace inside it for me to find. I close my eyes, letting scent become silence. And for the first time, the forest feels like home. The stream I found earlier has changed its song. The raindrops dance across its surface, making endless ripples. Each one collides with another, then disappears. It reminds me that peace doesn't mean still water. It means knowing how to flow. I trace a small branch along the current, watching it twist, float and spin. Even when pushed, it never resists. It moves and somehow always finds its way back to calm. The sound begins to soften. drops slow down, then scatter, like footsteps leaving quietly. The forest exhales, a sigh of relief, a sound so subtle you could miss it if you blinked. I tilt my head back, feeling the final drops fall across my cheeks. The clouds are parting, but the rhythm of the rain still echoes in my pulse. It's strange how something so fleeting can leave calm that lasts. Maybe peace isn't what stays. Maybe it's what remains after everything else leaves. As the rain pulls away, a soft mist rises from the ground. It curls around my legs like silk, wrapping the forest in silver breath. The air glows faintly, as though the world is still steaming with memory. Every sound is now muted. No splash, no wind, no rush, only warmth and light. The mist carries the scent of pine and rainwater, and I breathe it in slowly. It feels like the forest is whispering, "You listened. Thank you." And I whisper back, "You spoke." I heard puddles shimmer in the returning light. Each one holds a small reflection of the sky. Clouds breaking apart, blue slipping through gray. I crouch beside one, watching my reflection ripple gently. The person I see there looks softer, as if the rain had washed something unseen. My hands are cold, but my chest feels warm. I touch the surface, and my reflection blurs again. Sometimes clarity doesn't come from seeing sharply, but from letting go of focus altogether. The first ray of sunlight returns, timid at first, then stronger. It filters through the branches, each beam catching droplets still clinging to the leaves. They sparkle like tiny stars, as if the rain had left constellations behind. A bird sings again, then another. Life returns to its gentle rhythm, as though nothing happened, and yet everything changed. I lift my hands, letting them dry in the new light, and think, this is what relaxing stories for sleep are truly made of. A journey from sound to silence, from motion to meaning. The world is quiet now. The ground glistens softly, the sky pure again. I sit beneath the same oak that sheltered me through the rain. Its leaves drip slowly, each drop falling like the tick of a clock that no longer keeps time. I breathe deeply, the rhythm of rain still echoing inside me. It feels like the forest and I just shared a secret we can't explain. And in that silence I smile. No words, no noise, just understanding. The rain is gone, but the light it left behind feels softer, alive. Each drop on the leaves catches the sun, turning the forest into a sea of glittering green. I walk slowly through the clearing, my shoes sinking gently into damp moss. The scent of wet soil wraps around me like comfort. The forest hums quietly, not with sound, but with balance. This is the hour between noise and silence, between energy and rest. And I realize, maybe peace isn't found, maybe it grows. I kneel and press my hand into the soil. It's warm now, as if the earth itself has a slow heartbeat. Tiny roots move beneath my fingers, invisible but certain. I can almost feel the pulse of everything. Worms, water, roots, time. The ground seems to whisper, "You belong here too." I let my fingers rest there longer, until my own pulse begins to match the rhythm. This is not science anymore. It's communion. The sun climbs above the canopy, and every leaf turns toward it like a listener. Light filters through in shifting patches, each one a note in a silent hymn. Bees drift lazily between wildflowers, their low hum weaving through the still air. I close my eyes and the sound becomes something larger, a choir of life breathing in unison. There is no conductor, no rule, only rhythm. It feels like the forest is performing a bedtime story for grown-ups, while still wide awake. I return to the stream, now calm and swollen from the rain. The surface glimmers with sunlight, each reflection a soft, moving flame. I sit beside it, letting my feet dangle just above the water. The current makes no rush. It moves like thought, drifting into rest. I drop a leaf in, watching it spin slowly downstream. No struggle, no hesitation, only trust. I smile. Even water knows how to let go. A fern uncurls beside me, its fronds wet, delicate, glowing. I watch it slowly unfold toward the light. The movement is almost invisible, but I can feel it happening. It doesn't rush to bloom. It takes its time. And I realize that growth isn't about speed. It's about trust and timing. I whisper, "Teach me patience." The fern says nothing, but I already understand. It's noon now. The sun rests high above, and the forest settles into a deep hush. Even the insects seem slower, buzzing like lazy dreams. I lie on my back, hands behind my head, watching light drift through leaves. It dances across my face like water over stone. The air feels thick with life, and yet so still. It's strange. I've never felt more awake or more at peace. A soft wind returns and the leaves begin to murmur again. They speak in rustles and sighs, telling stories older than words. I listen, but I don't need to understand. Every sound is enough. Each whisper folds into the next, forming a rhythm like slow breathing. The forest doesn't need meaning. It just needs presence. And I think that's what humans forget most. Beneath a fallen log, tiny mushrooms bloom. Pale, perfect, unseen. I kneel closer. Drops of water cling to their edges like jewels. The air smells of wood and memory. This hidden world, quiet and small, feels more sacred than any cathedral. I whisper, "You don't need to be seen to matter." And for a heartbeat, I swear the mushrooms listen. A finch lands nearby, shaking the last raindrops from its wings. It hops closer, tilting its head toward me. We share a look, a quiet exchange between species. It chirps once, short and bright, then flies upward in a golden arc. For a moment, its reflection glitters in the water. I smile. The world is full of fleeting hellos. Some stay in sound, others in the heart. Everywhere I look, the color green breathes. It moves in waves. Moss, fern, vine, leaf. Each shade singing a different note. I walk slowly, feeling my heartbeat fall in line with theirs. The forest and I have the same rhythm now. No thoughts, no plans. Just pulse and peace. This, I think, is the real sleep meditation. Being fully alive, without needing to do anything at all. Sunlight slips through the leaves again, but now it's golden, softer than before. It brushes the ground like a hand, turning wet stones into amber. I reach out and feel its warmth on my arm. It's the same sun I've known all my life, but today it feels different, as if it knows I've finally stopped running. Some warmth doesn't burn, it heals, and this warmth feels like home. A sound rises faintly, a hum below hearing. I kneel again, pressing my ear to the ground. It's the roots, passing quiet messages underground, threading stories from tree to tree. It feels like an invisible heartbeat traveling through the soil. Every living thing is connected, not by sight, but by vibration. Even silence, I realize, is never truly silent. The day slows. Even time feels drowsy now. I sit beneath an old birch, watching dust float in the air like gold snow. Every motion is so soft, so gentle, that it feels sacred. The sound of my own breath joins the hum of the forest. In this moment I feel suspended, not awake, not asleep, just resting within existence. The light begins to tilt, growing warmer, slower. Long shadows stretch like sleepy sighs. I gather my things, but I don't want to leave. The forest has given me something wordless, something I didn't know I'd lost. I stand still and whisper, "I'll stay until the stars arrive," and I mean it. Some stories deserve to end only with night. The last light glows between the trees, turning every leaf into class. The world feels heavier now, but not in weight, in peace. The forest exhales one last golden breath, and I exhale with it. The day is slowing, not ending, just shifting into quiet. I sit beneath the oak again, ready to watch the evening arrive. My heart beats slow, steady, calm. The light begins to change, from gold to amber, from warmth to whisper. The forest glows like an old memory, soft around the edges. Every leaf catches the last sunbeam, holding it like a secret before letting go. I sit beneath my oak tree, watching the light melt into the moss. The air cools slowly, and the forest starts to hum a deeper tune. This is the hour when everything exhales, a sleep meditation carved by the hands of the sun. A breeze drifts through, carrying the scent of pine and fading rain. It moves through my hair, around my neck, and disappears into the trees. I close my eyes, breathing in rhythm with the wind. It's neither cold nor warm. It's the perfect in-between. The sound of leaves brushing together feels like gentle conversation. No rush, no demand, just peace. And in that moment, I remember how simple calm can be. The forest changes its palette. Green becomes shadow, and gold fades to silver. A soft blue mist begins to rise again, wrapping trunks in silk. Every color is slower now, as if painted by the night's own brush. I watch tiny insects hover above the stream, their wings catching the fading light. They look like floating sparks, fire without flame, life without noise. Even in silence, the world keeps moving beautifully. The stream hums lower now, its rhythm thicker, heavier. It sounds like the forest's heartbeat slowing down for rest. I dip my fingers in, and the water feels cooler, smoother. Ripples travel outward, reflecting a sky that's now lavender and gray. I whisper to the stream, "You never stop moving, yet you rest." It doesn't answer, but the echo of its sound feels like understanding. Some truths don't need words, only rhythm. From somewhere deep within the woods, a cricket begins to sing, then another, then hundreds. The notes overlap in soft chaos, a chorus born of darkness. The sound fills the forest like gentle static in a sleep podcast. It's not silence anymore. It's harmony. I listen closely, my heartbeat syncing with theirs. This is what it means to belong to the night. Tiny lights appear between the trees. Fireflies, hundreds of them drifting slowly through the mist. They blink in rhythm, a language made of light and patience. I stand and move carefully among them, each glow pulsing like a thought. For a moment I forget which lights belong to the sky and which belong to the earth. Maybe they're the same, the stars that fell to rest among roots. A relaxing story for sleep, written in gold. The forest path glows faintly, lit by fireflies and moonlight. I follow it slowly, barefoot this time. The ground is cool and forgiving. Every step makes a sound like paper sighing. The trees lean closer now, their branches forming arches above me. It feels like walking through a cathedral built by silence. The deeper I go, the quieter everything becomes. Not emptier, just softer. The last edge of sunlight slips away. No farewell, no fanfare, just the gentle turning of time. A hush spreads across the land. The forest feels weightless, as though it's floating in its own dream. I pause, listening to the shift. Even the smallest sound, a drop, a sigh, feels sacred. This is the moment between day and night, wakefulness and rest, the heartbeat before peaceful sleep. Darkness moves gently now, not as absence, but as presence. It folds over leaves, wraps around stones, and softens every edge. I watch my own shadow stretch across the ground, then dissolve. In this dim light, everything feels equal. No bright, no dull, no beginning, no end. The forest becomes one quiet shape, and I become part of it. Sometimes, surrender is the purest form of strength. I sit again beneath the oak, and the night gathers around me. I think of every hour that passed. The dawn, the rain, the green heart of noon. Each one left something behind, a feeling rather than a thought. The forest remembers too, in scents, in drops, in whispers. I realize that memory isn't about holding on, but about breathing with what remains. The past is not gone. It just hums quietly under the skin. A cool draft slides between the trees, brushing my arms, lifting strands of hair from my forehead. It smells faintly of moss and fading rain. I close my eyes, and the air feels like a lullaby. No words, no melody, just motion that soothes. If the world could speak in comfort, this would be its voice. Steady, quiet, kind, and I let it speak through me until my own breath becomes part of its song. Above the forest, the first pale circle of the moon appears. It rises slowly, like someone remembering to breathe. The light it casts isn't bright. It's silver, gentle, forgiving. It coats the leaves in frost-like shimmer, turning the path into quiet glass. I look up and whisper, I made it through the day. The moon says nothing, but its silence feels like approval. In this glow, I feel seen and unseen at once. Stillness isn't emptiness. It's fullness without movement. Every sound has gone to rest now. The stream, the birds, the wind. All that remains is heartbeat and breath. I focus on both, feeling them blend together. It's strange. The quieter the world becomes, the louder peace grows. This must be what the body feels right before it drifts into get sleepy calm. Night is here, complete, steady, unbroken. It wraps the forest in deep velvet. I feel the temperature drop and pull my shawl tighter. The stars begin to blink above, their light trembling softly through the mist. I take one long breath, then another. back against the oak, feeling its strength behind me. The world is quiet. Only the heartbeat of crickets remains. My eyes are open, but the edges of sight blur softly. The forest glows faintly under moonlight, as if it too is exhaling one final time. The line between waking and dreaming is thin as mist. I don't cross it yet. I just linger here, where everything breathes slowly, waiting for the night to finish its story. The night deepens. The air grows heavier, not with weight, but with rest. Every leaf has settled. Every creature has gone still. The forest feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something quiet and infinite. I sit beneath the oak, my head tilted back against its trunk. The bark feels cool, grounding, like a reminder that everything solid still listens. My eyelids flutter, but I stay awake just long enough to feel the world slowing beside me. Though the air is cooled, the memory of sunlight still lingers on my skin. It's faint, but alive, like an ember that refuses to fade. I hold my hand to my heart, feeling both pulses, mine and the forest's. They move as one. No separation, no edge. Even stillness has rhythm. A song so slow that only silence can hear it. And in that quiet unity, I feel safe. Completely, quietly safe. Through the branches, the stars begin to appear. Not all at once, just a few, shy and trembling. They blink softly, like tiny lanterns testing their flame. I remember my telescope at home, how I used to chase light with glass and math. But here, I don't need to chase anything. The stars come willingly, and I simply watch. They don't look distant tonight. They look patient, like keepers of peace, guarding the moment before bedtime story dreams begin. The oak behind me creaks softly, a sound that feels like exhaling. The branches sway, brushing against one another with the gentleness of touch. Even the air seems to rise and fall in time with my own breath. We're breathing together. Me, the trees, the soil, the night. No difference. No distance. It's strange how belonging feels like disappearing. But here, that's comfort, not loss. I lie down now, my head resting on the moss. It's cool and soft. A shaped by time. The ground hums faintly beneath me, a vibration so deep it feels like a heartbeat. I think of how long the earth has been awake. Centuries of rain, wind, and growth. And tonight it rests, just for a moment, with me. The soil cradles me the way oceans cradle waves. Gentle, steady, endless. The chorus of crickets continues, but softer now, as though even they are growing drowsy. The rhythm is slow, hypnotic, each note falling into the next. It's not music, it's a pattern that mimics the pulse of rest. My breathing joins them, and together we create a single lullaby that belongs to no one. This is what stories for bedtime adults should sound like. Not words, but peace disguised as sound. The mist returns, but it's no longer cold. It drapes over me slowly, like a blanket stitched by moonlight. The stars shimmer faintly through it, not sharp, but soft, as if seen through half-closed eyes. I pull my shawl closer and let the forest cover what remains of thought. No fear, no time, no edge, just night, and the comfort of being small within something vast. The boundary between body and air begins to blur. I feel weightless, like part of the fog that surrounds me. Every sound is distant now. The crickets, the breeze, the water, folding together into a single hum. It feels like the world is humming itself to sleep. My breath slows, and my thoughts become lighter than air. The sky stretches endlessly above, and I drift, not falling, just floating downward into calm. Somewhere, far beyond the trees, the horizon glows faintly with moonlight. It looks like a silver thread sewing the night closed. I imagine that every creature, every root and leaf is pulling that same thread through their dreams. The forest is sleeping now, not dead, not silent, just resting with open eyes. I smile softly. The world doesn't end when it grows quiet. It begins again. My mind starts to wander, not toward memories, but toward feelings. Warmth, coolness, stillness. No language, just sense. The night feels like velvet on my thoughts. Even the tiny sparks of awareness fade, melting into rhythm. This isn't forgetting, it's rest. True rest. The kind that doesn't need dreams to make sense. The ground ground beneath me feels deeper now, like an ocean made of earth. Every breath sinks lower into my chest. My body is heavy, but in the softest way. I can feel my heartbeat slowing, matching the rhythm of the forest floor. Each pulse fades into soil, becoming something older, something patient. I realize I'm not lying on the earth anymore. I'm lying with it, and it feels like being home. Shapes move faintly behind my eyelids. Branches, light, clouds, faces. They're not real, but they're not imagined either. They sway like memories trying to fall asleep. I let them pass, one after another. I'm too calm to chase meaning, too soft to hold form. The forest breathes around me and I breathe within it. There's no boundary anymore, just gentle blur. The stars above fade slightly, not because they're gone, but because my eyes are closing. The moon remains, a single lamp in an endless room. It watches quietly as I let go of everything I've seen today. The rain, the green, the gold. They all fold neatly into the night, like pages closing themselves. And the story of the day ends exactly where it began, in peace. The forest is silent now. No sound, no light, only rhythm. The trees sway slightly, their branches heavy with rest. Even the air has fallen still, like a deep inhale that never needs to end. This is not emptiness, it's fullness without motion. And in this stillness I drift with the earth as it turns slowly, carrying me into dreams. And as Anneliese closes her eyes, maybe you can too. Tonight's journey was not about the forest, or the stars, or the rain. It was about you, learning how to rest again. Good night, dear listener. Sleep well. Until the next story.